Welcome back, everybody. Holiday Doc here, and a bit of a treat for you. I posted on Twitter looking for some competitive gameplay today, as it seems that the fact that none of the recent games were showing up in theaters slipped my mind. I knew about it, I just forgot about it, didn't cap, and I wanted to showcase some stuff that we did last night, but I will save that for another commentary. Today, or this morning rather, this morning it is for me, by the time this posts, it'll probably be the afternoon. But I want to talk a little bit about Decerto Rules, since I have an awesome gameplay here, brought to you by Audio R4... I don't know how to say it, so we'll call him Audio, maybe it's audio, not really sure. But since he was kind enough to forward along this gameplay for me, let's take this opportunity and talk about why people are so in love with Decerto Rules. First of all, we can talk a little bit about the rule set. Now, you're probably wondering why the hell they're playing A, Launch, and B, Demolition. The Decerto rules are much different than your standard MLG rule types. So you're not going to see that 4-on-4 FAMAS gameplay that everybody's so accustomed to hating. Is this a reason why this modes or these modes are more popular? It's really hard to judge or to get an estimate to feel out if this game type is actually more popular than the MLG rule set. I do know it is more entertaining to watch. It does resemble the public aspect a little bit more. I don't want to say it resemble. I don't know. I don't know how to compare it, but people tend to like watching this a bit more, just because you're not going to see the 4-on-4 FAMAS. I think that's a big deal. You're going to see the AK, the MP5, the M16. You're not going to see steady aim. You're not going to see extended mags. You're not going to see rapid fire, anything like that. So all those stuff or those things are all removed. There's no equipment, I believe. And I think the biggest is these flashes. You're going to notice a lot of flashbangs go down there. And for me, that's a hard thing to deal with. You know, I don't really, I'm not used to playing with flashbangs at all. It's a slower deployment, so it takes longer to actually get back to your gun once throwing out. And it's much more difficult to control. Like, you end up flashing yourself a little bit, and it's not always consistent. So some things to think about, I guess. Whether you're going to use, see right here, he gets flashbanged again, and look how long it puts you out of the fight for. Like, a direct flash puts you out of the fight for at least 6 seconds, and that's a long time. You can have somebody creep up on you, take care of you, and you're out. So I guess we can start this and compare some basic things. Rule types are similar but different. They try to regulate the amount of randomness. They don't want to showcase guns that are overpowered or OP. They try to mix it up and create a varied game set. So the AK is definitely used, the MP5 is definitely used. I haven't seen the Commando. I'm not sure if the Commando is able to be used or not. I did see the M16, which I think we're about to see here now, as he picks it up. And with MLG rule types, all the weapons go. MLG stated at the beginning of the season, that was a nice shot right there, the head glitch pick-off. MLG stated at the beginning of the season that they would never ban a particular weapon. Reasons for that, I couldn't really tell you 100%. My personal opinion on why it went down like that was because they have a deal and an ongoing relationship with Activision. They didn't want to showcase competitive gameplay and showcase banning a weapon, because then it would prove or show faults in the games or fault in the game, and I think they tried to avoid that. That's just my opinion. I don't know for sure, but if you had to ask me, I think that's what I would tell you, is that they didn't want to showcase that there was some balance issues with weapons. So another thing, stuns. MLG uses stuns, and I think every player out there can tell you that from the Western side here, that stuns are a crucial part to our gameplay. You know, we use them to check corners, we use them to slow down runs, slow down groups of players, and essentially use them as a possible or a bit of like a UAV type of thing. You know, you don't have UAVs, but we can stun check and, you know, make sure. With the Decerto rules, the flashbangs are the only thing you can use. So if you try to you know, check corners with flashes, I do notice that hit markers with flashbangs are difficult to get at best. They're not really reliable to use, and the extra time it takes to deploy it takes you out of a possible gunfight for just that much longer. It makes it difficult. So you have to be prepared, and you know, the EU players use flashbangs in a more, I would say, defensive way rather than offensively. If we compare that, you know, MLG players use it on the offensive. You know, they run into spawns and they try to check, like for CTF example, you know, you're going into the flag top side of Havana and you're checking in the lobby or the L, or you're checking respawns to see if they've spawned on Revolution or behind the cargo truck. You don't really see that with the EU players. You don't get those forward-moving flashbangs, you know, at the enemy spawn. I know. I think it's just because it does take you out of the gunfights for that much longer. You know, maybe a EU player could clarify for me. We could talk about it maybe on another commentary, like a whole discussion about the EU rules with somebody who's veteran to it. And this is a really nice player right here. He spotted him up top. I think they both spotted each other on the Jersey barrier. And this guy, Audio, jumped down and anticipated that he was going to jump through the half wall there. Really nice play by him. And he's effectively right now the one-man team, 26-7. And, you know, Demo, if I have to say one bad thing about Decerto Rules, it's demolition. We saw them encroach right on enemy spawn there for quite some time. You know, we saw that they were taking advantage of spawn killing for a while. That, to me, is something you want to avoid. You don't want to have game types where the opposition can effectively spawn trap you for the majority of the game. Now, both sides of this map have a very similar style of spawn traps, so you could compare it that it's even on both sides. Both teams, or both sides of the map, have an equal opportunity to spawn trap, but it's too much, in my opinion. Demolition it's just one of those game types that, you know, maybe it's just because I'm so accustomed to MLG that I just don't like it, but, you know, that's my opinion. You guys can, you know, continue to let me know down below with the comments, and definitely feedback on that, and I definitely read every single one of them, if you may not know that. And I'm just very impressed at the overall gameplay right now, and, you know, I can tell you that the other team is a bit lacking on the skill set compared to the team that we're watching, and I do apologize I don't have his team name with me right now, but what is Audio? Invictus. I think his YouTube channel is Invictus, or INVICTUZXX. So I will clarify that after I record this, but I'm gonna have to check out more of his videos on his YouTube channel. Obviously, he's a decent player, more than decent. He's going to put up a remarkable number here at the end. I did have an opportunity to watch it on the first part, but as we see, a bomb does get planted. So now it's a game of just defending one plant, and that's another thing with demolition that kind of I'm not a fan of. If you do allow the one plant to go down, and spawns are in so much favored to defend one point on the map, it doesn't really make it an even game type anymore. You know, so I do remember when we did play Demolition that, you know, teams would abuse certain factors that correspond with Demolition. One being getting less kills, or throwing yourself at the enemy to let them have the most kills so that they get offensive side twice in a row, where you could defend again, or vice versa. I forget exactly what it was. It was either defend, or you could force the defend, or you could force the offensive. And on certain maps, it was much more beneficial to have one or the other, so teams would manipulate that. And I think that should be something that is taken out of competitive play, where teams can manipulate sides like that. Another thing about demo is when you are on the one plant defend spot, you're gonna see that it's much more difficult to get that plant off. And you know, they did manage to get the plant off here. I do believe they do it a couple more times, but effectively it's like 10 times more challenging to get 2 plants off opposed to like an S&D or a Sabo. So I don't know. I just I have mixed reviews on demo. The whole Decerto rule type in general I enjoy, and I do believe they are coming to the US more, or with a heavier ambition in the next coming months. They're trying to really start up here, Decerto USA. I had the privilege of talking to some UK guys, and one of the guys from Decerto at COD XP. Absolutely a great privilege. The guys are awesome to talk to. They love competitive gaming. They just want to see it more balanced, I think, and they realize that, or maybe not balanced, but they want to see competitive gameplay make it into the big time, make it out to appeal to that public aspect. And I think the Decerto rule set is a step in the right direction. Do I agree with everything? Probably not. There is some things I would change and would like to see changed for MW3. Some questions here I'm just going to answer while we are running out the time clock here on this game type. Holiday Doc, are you aware of if Modern Warfare 3 has LAN or does not have LAN? Is it confirmed or not? Modern Warfare 3 has LAN, yes. They have a LAN system. However, they don't have a LAN-capable system to host matches. And that means if you are hosting a match and you start a match, the game starts instantly as the host creates it. There's no timer. So everybody gets into the game about 20 seconds, 30 seconds after the game's already started. This makes it a challenge for setting up LAN events because everyone does not start in the game type at the same time. You have to put your controllers down, have a referee sit there and, you know, say go, and everybody grabs their controller at once. There's no timer. The timer is what we're fighting for, or a better way of starting private custom games on LAN, like Halo. Halo has a perfect setup for LAN systems. You know, you can set up custom classes, you can set up when the game starts, everybody joins a private lobby on LAN before getting into the actual game. That's what we're looking for Modern Warfare 3. Is it in effect right now? No. Holiday Doc, you mentioned that you would like to see kill streaks in Modern Warfare 3. Why? And if so, what kill streaks would you have? For people who don't know, there's over 30 different types of kill streaks on Modern Warfare 3, but that's a whole nother commentary. I'll answer that question in a video of itself. But I do want to thank Odio. I apologize, and he drops a fucking 50 bomb. 50 bomb! Thank you again for showcasing your gameplay here on my channel. If you'd like to see more from this